Hi and a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectibles. Today a loco that's quite special to me. This was actually my grandfather's and it's been in my possession now for around about 40 years. Very rarely run and as you'll see in a moment it's done well. It barely runs now. So plan for today is to take it over to the bench, just give it a general light service. It's in beautiful condition and hopefully, you know, with a little bit of magnetism put back into the motor, we'll get this running lovely. It's let me just give you the numbers here. It's W2219, a 262 tank from LMS, and as I say, beautiful condition. So we'll head over to the bench and let's see if we can get this running nicely. So as I say, this was my grandfather's, so it's been in my possession definitely for at least 40 years. I don't know a great deal about Wrenn. I mean, obviously they're metal bodied and they're an Essex based company. You can see here it says Basildon. I did for some reason think that they were based in Ilford, but maybe somebody can fill in the details on that. But this one definitely says Basildon on here. So let's have a look inside. You can see here my handwriting when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. MTC system. So the MTC system was Airfix's first attempt at a digital control, so I don't know whether there's still remnants of digital control inside this loco, but we'll have a look. And there you go. As you can see, it is in absolutely beautiful condition, just a little bit dusty. And yeah, die-cast body, a couple of little marks on there, but I'm not going to do anything with those. I just want to give this a very light service and see if I can get it running. See if it runs a little bit better around the track. So what we'll do is pop this over to the test track and I'll show you what it's doing at the moment, and then we'll get the body off and see what we can find. Okay, let's give this a little bit of power. You can see it wants to go, but there's just nothing there. Turn it back that way. Sorry, let's turn it up to full power. So like I say, I think I'm just going to give this a light service. I don't plan to do too much with it because it's in such a lovely condition. So let's go and have a look at it and see what we can see. Yes, as you saw, it's just creeping. It's not moving much, so I'm hoping it just needs a little bit of a clean and probably a little bit of strength put back in the magnet. But let's have a look. Just drop this front truck off, the pony truck off. Get that undone. There it goes. Okay, just put my other glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Right, there's the main body screw under here. Okay, doesn't look terribly dirty at all. You know, just, yeah, let's just drop the armature out, give it a good clean, put it back together. Slide the magnet out first. And the brushes. Oh yeah, there's nothing in the magnet at all. Barely any strength. That could be the problem. Just take the locking nut off of here. I'm just going to push those brushes back out of the way. Be a little ball in there. Yep, that's there. Okay. Right. Yeah, it's a little bit grubby. It's not too bad though. I have seen worse. So I'm just going to give that a little clean up. and the wheels look like they've barely been used. I'm not going to touch those at all at the moment. Yeah, the armature came up quite nicely. I'll just give the brushes a wipe over. I don't want to do too much on here. Just got a little spray cleaner to try and get the worst of it off. Yeah, that's fine. And this one. Just before I put the armature back in, this is all it's quite stiff actually. So I think what I'm going to do is give this a little bit of an oil and try and free this up a little bit. Yeah, giving that a nice oil, and yeah, it's all running quite freely now, so that's good. Right, so back to putting the armature in. Just drop that into the loco. Right, that's that in. Okay. I'll sort that out in a minute. I'll just drop a tiny bit of oil in here before I put it back on. Okay. Don't want to cross thread this, there it goes. It's a little bit tight. Just come off half a turn. Perfect. And the locking nut. Good. Right, what's the matter with this wheel truck? There it is. Okay, let's get the brushes back in. Very long brushes on this. What's the other one? There it is. Okay, one spring at this end. That's it. And I'll drop the magnet back in before noticing that they've got left and right on the magnet, so assuming train forward is the way to go, I'll put it back in that way round. I think there's a coil at the end of the spring that's just very slightly bent off, and that's what's upsetting it. As I try to put it in, I'm catching that last coil. Just trim it. That's it. So reaching for Mr. Dodd's handy machine. This you can find him on YouTube. Does this sort of remagnetizer, makes these little machines. Obviously north is that way. What you do is, I've shown this a few times on some of my videos, but you find out your polarity of the magnet. So on this one, you can see north is pointing that way, and then we drop the magnet in between these two rods, push the rods up close, and then you just push the button and it puts some power back into the magnet. Now I'm not going to do it on camera, I've said this before. This thing, you know, I can put this right over the other side of the room and I push the button and the magnet, the compass moves. So it creates such a big magnetic field. I'm going to move my phone, my camera, anything else electrical way out of the way, and yeah, do this off camera. So give me a couple of minutes, I'll be right back. Right, so I push the button, and now as I take this out, you can see the strength now, how it's really sticking to the machine. which is good. So let's drop this back through, like so. Let's go give it a test run. Okay, let's give it some power. Beautiful. Running really nicely. I'm happy with that. Let's go and pop the body back on and get some shots of it running around the layout. Right, I'm just going to go give this a little clean, just with some soapy water. But before I do that, just a reminder that if you want to know how to do these properly, there's some really great YouTubers out there that know what they're doing and you know, do this professionally and do them as I guess tutorials. One I've been watching recently, Dublo Bill, absolutely fantastic, mesmerizing. I'm just a hobbyist, I just enjoy what I'm doing and I'm just sharing it with you, and I'm learning as I go, I'm making my own mistakes as I go. So yeah, please enjoy it with me, but don't see this as any sort of instructional video. Right, let's go and give this a quick clean. Well, let's come up a treat, got all the dust and grime off of that. So as I just some washing up liquid and a very soft toothbrush, just going over that. Obviously being very careful of the paint, I guess, or decals, whatever these are, but just being very careful and very gentle over them. But it gets in and gets all the dust out of all the little areas that where it all congregates over the years. Right, let's slide this back on like that. Pop this back in here. Let's finish this video with some shots of it running around the layout. It's been lovely to see this running again after such a long time. The loco itself is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's got such a nice weight to it, and no problems at all pulling the coaches. Obviously these were just you know, some people tell me that I've got them in the wrong order, the wrong coaches for the loco, but these are just ones I had around that I could access and put behind it. But it was pulling the 4 coaches, no problem at all. And as I say, you know, very powerful loco and very, very heavy, which is fantastic. So there you go. Hopefully my grandfather's looking down somewhere, he's thinking good on you, Matt, and yeah, it's lovely to see it running again. Anyway, we'll leave that one here, and thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.